Book of Heaven, Volume 10, Part 3. January 28, 1911. Love forces God to tear the veils of faith. The church is agonizing, but shall not die. As I was in my usual state, the heart of my sweet Jesus made itself seen, and as I looked inside of Jesus, I could see his heart in him. And in looking inside of myself, I could see his most holy heart also within me. Oh, how much gentleness, how many delights, how many harmonies could be felt in that heart. Then, while I was delighting with Jesus, I heard his most gentle voice coming out from his heart, telling me, "Daughter, delight of my heart, love wants its outpourings, otherwise one could not go on, especially the one who really loves me and does not admit within herself any other pleasure, any other taste, any other life but love. I feel so drawn toward them that love itself forces me to tear the veils of faith, and I reveal myself, making them enjoy down here also paradise at intervals. Love gives me no time to wait for death with those who really love me, but I anticipate it also in this life. Enjoy, feel my delights. See how many contentments there are in my heart. Take part in everything. Pour yourself out in my love, so that yours may expand more, and you may love me more." While he was saying this, I saw some priests, and Jesus continued, "My daughter, the church in these times is agonizing, but shall not die. On the contrary, she shall rise again, more beautiful. The good priests strive for a life more stripped, more sacrificed, more pure. The bad priests strive for a life more interested, more comfortable, more sensual, all earthly. I speak, but not to them. I speak to the few good ones, be they even one per town. To these do I speak, and I command, I beg, I supplicate that they make these houses of reunion, saving for me the priests who shall come into these shelters, by rendering them completely free from any bond of family. And through these few good ones shall my church recover from her agony. These are my support, my pillars, the continuation of the life of the church. I do not speak to the others, that is, to those who do not feel like freeing themselves of any bond of family, because if I speak, I am certainly not listened to. Even more, at the mere thought of breaking every bond, they become indignant. Unfortunately, they are accustomed to drinking the cup of interest and the like, that while being sweetness for the flesh, is poison for the soul. These shall end up drinking the sewer of the world. I want to save them at any cost, but I am not listened to. Therefore I speak, but for them it is as if I were not speaking." February 4th, 1911. Where the reunions of priests shall be established, the persecutions shall be milder. Continuing in my usual state, blessed Jesus told me, "My daughter, tell Father G to solicit the reunions of priests. Let them not make the persecution come earlier. Woe to them. In fact, where these reunions shall be established, either the persecutions shall be milder, or wounds shall be spared. The rot is great and too stinking, and it takes iron and fire by necessity. Iron is for cutting the gangrenous flesh, and fire is for purifying. Therefore hurry, hurry. February 8th, 1911. Love renders Jesus happy. Luisa is the paradise of Jesus on earth. Continuing in my usual state, I spent about 6 days all immersed in the love of my blessed Jesus, to the point that at times I felt I could take no more, and I would say to Jesus, "Enough, enough, I can take no more." I felt as if I was in a bath of love that penetrated deep into the marrow of my bones. Now Jesus would speak to me of love, and of how much he loved me, and now I would speak of love to him. The beautiful thing is that sometimes Jesus would not let himself be seen, and I, swimming in this bath of love, would feel the circle of my poor nature crack. I would lament to him, and he would whisper in my ear, "Love is I, and if you feel love, it is sure that I am with you." Other times, as I would lament, he would say in my ear, but all of a sudden, "Luisa, you are my paradise on earth, and your love renders me happy." And I, "Jesus, my love, what are you saying? Do you want to make fun of me? You are already happy because of yourself. Why do you say that you are happy because of me?" And he, "Listen to me carefully, my daughter, and you shall comprehend what I am telling you. There is no created thing that does not receive life from my heart. All creatures are like many cords that come from my heart and have life from me. By necessity and naturally, everything they do is all reflected in my heart, be it even one movement. As a consequence, if they do evil, if they do not love me, they give me continuous bother. That chord resounds in my heart with sounds of displeasures, of bitternesses, of sins, and forms in it such lugubrious sounds as to render me unhappy on the part of that chord or life that comes from me. On the other hand, if it loves me and is all intent on contenting me, that chord gives me continuous pleasure, and forms festive and sweet sounds that harmonize with my own life. And on the part of that chord, I enjoy so much as to be rendered happy, and to enjoy my own paradise because of it. If you comprehend well all this, you shall no longer say that I make fun of you. And here is what I would say about love, and what Jesus would say. I shall say it was some nonsense, and maybe also disconnected, because the mind does not adapt itself completely to words. Oh, my Jesus, love are you. You are all love. And love do I want. Love I desire. For love I long. Love I supplicate, and love I implore of you. Love invites me. Love is my life. Love kidnaps my heart deep into the womb of my Lord. With love he inebriates me. With love he delights me. I all alone and only for you. You alone and only for me. Now that we are alone, shall we speak about love? Oh, please let me comprehend how much you love me, because only in your heart can one comprehend love. Do you want me to speak to you of love? Listen, my beloved daughter. My life is love. If I breathe, I love you. If my heart beats, my heartbeat says to you, love, love. I am mad with love for you. If I move, I add love for you. With love I inundate you. With love I surround you. With love I caress you. With love I dart through you. With love I flash through you. With love I attract you. With love I nourish you, and sharp arrows I send to your heart. Enough, oh my Jesus, for now. I already feel faint with love. Sustain me in your arms, enclose me in your heart, and from within your heart let me too give vent to my love. Otherwise I die of love. With love I rave, with love I burn, with love I make feast, with love I languish, with love I am consumed. Love kills me and makes me rise again, more beautiful to new life. My life escapes me, and I feel only the life of Jesus, my love. And in Jesus, my love, I feel immersed and I love everyone. He wounds me with love. He makes me ill with love. And with love he embellishes me and makes me ever more rich. I can say nothing more. Oh, love, you alone understand me. You alone comprehend me. My silence tells you even more. In your beautiful heart, one says more by keeping silent than by speaking. And by loving, one learns how to love. Love, love, speak, you alone, because being love, you know how to speak of love. Do you want to hear love? All creation tells you love. If the stars twinkle, they tell you love. If the sun rises, it gilds you with love. If it shines with all of its light in its full day, it sends arrows of love to your heart. If the sun sets, it tells you, it is Jesus that dies of love for you. In the thunders and lightnings, I send you love, and smacking kisses I give to your heart. It is love that runs upon the wings of the winds. If the waters murmur, I extend my arms to you. If the leaves move, I clasp you to my heart. If the flower gives out its fragrance, I cheer you with love. All creation, in mute language, tells you in chorus, from you alone do I want life of love. Love do I want, love I desire. For love I beg from within your heart. I am only content if you give me love. My good, my all, insatiable love. If you want love, then give me love. If you want me happy, then speak to me of love. If you want me content, then render me love. Love invests me. Love makes me fly and brings me to the throne of my Maker. Love shows me the uncreated wisdom. It leads me into the eternal love, and there do I set my home. Life of love, I shall live in your heart. I shall love you for all. I shall love you with all. I shall love you in all. Jesus, seal me completely with love inside your heart. Empty my veins, and instead of blood, let love flow in them. Take away my breath, and let me breathe air of love. Burn my bones and flesh, and weave me completely with love. May love transform me. May love conform me. May love teach me how to suffer with you. May love crucify me and make me all similar to you. March 24th, 1911. The soul prays for the needs of the Church. Continuing in my usual state, my always lovable Jesus came, and as I prayed to him for certain needs of the Church, and for a certain initial B, who has given books of hell for publishing, he told me, "My daughter, he did nothing but throw himself even more into the mud. Any mind of healthy reason shall see immediately how cretinous he is, and how I have caused him to hallucinate, not placing any true force of reason in what he affirms. I don't want priests to bother reading it. If they do, they shall render themselves too vile, and shall descend from their dignity, as though wanting to pay attention to the nonsense of a child, and therefore giving him the field to do more nonsense. But by not bothering about him and not paying attention to him, they shall at least give him the sorrow that no one pays attention to what he does, and that no one appreciates him. They shall answer with the worthy works of their ministry. This is the most beautiful answer. Ah, to him, then, it shall happen that he shall fall into the very trap he is preparing for others." March 26, 1911. The only relief that cheers Jesus is love. This morning, as I was outside of myself, I saw the celestial Mamma with a baby in her arms. The divine baby called me with his little hand, and I flew to put myself on the knees before the Queen Mamma. And Jesus told me, "My daughter, today I want you to speak with our Mamma." And I said, "My celestial Mamma, tell me, is there anything in me that displeases Jesus?" And she, "Dearest daughter of mine, be tranquil, for now I do not see anything that may displease my son. If, may it never be, you shall run into something that can displease him, I shall let you know immediately. Trust your Mamma and do not fear." As the celestial Queen assured me, I felt new life being infused in me, and I added, "My most sweet Mamma, what sad times we are in. Tell me, is it really true that Jesus wants the reunions of priests?" And she, "He surely does, because the waves are rising too high, and these reunions shall be the anchors, the lamps, the helm, with which the church shall be saved from shipwreck caused by the storm. In fact, while it shall appear that the storm has submerged everything, after the storm it shall be seen that the anchors, the lamps, the helm, that is, the most stable things in order to continue the life of the church, are still there. But oh, how vile, cowardly, and hard-hearted they are! Almost none of them moves, while these are times for works. The enemies are not resting, while they remain there in sluggishness. But so much the worse for them. Then she added, "My daughter tried to make up for everything by means of love. May you cherish one thing alone, to love. One thought alone, one word alone, one life alone. Love. If you want to content and please Jesus, love him, and give him always the occasion to speak of love. This is the only relief that cheers him. Love. Tell him to speak to you of love, and he shall put himself in feast. And I, my tender Jesus, did you hear what our mamma is saying? That I should ask you for love, and to speak about love. And Jesus, celebrating, said such and so many things about the virtue, the height, the nobility of love, that it is not for the human language to be able to repeat it. Therefore I stop here. May 16th, 1911. Jesus does not want to confound the enemies of the church, and he cries over the painful wounds that are in her body. I was praying, blessed Jesus, to confound the enemies of the church, and my always lovable Jesus, in coming, told me, "My daughter, I could confound the enemies of the Holy Church, but I do not want to. If I did so, who would purge my church? The members of the church, and especially those who occupy positions and heights of dignity, have their eyes dazzled, and they blunder a great deal, reaching the point of protecting the false virtuous, and oppressing and condemning the true good. This grieves me so much, to see those few true children of mine under the weight of injustice. Those children from whom my church must rise again, and to whom I am giving much grace to dispose them to this. I see them placed with their backs to the wall, and bound to prevent their step. This grieves me so much that I feel I am all fury for their sake. Listen, my daughter, I am all sweetness, benign, clement, and merciful, so much so that because of my sweetness I enrapture hearts. But I am also strong, as to be able to crush and reduce to ashes those who not only oppress the good, but reach the point of preventing the good that they want to do. Ah, you cry over the secular, and I cry over the painful wounds that are in the body of the church. These grieve me so much as to surpass the wounds of the secular, because they come from the side from which I did not expect it, and induce me to make the secular rail against them. May 19th, 1911. Confidence captures Jesus. Jesus wants the soul to forget about herself and to occupy herself with him alone. Continuing in my usual state, my always lovable Jesus made himself seen all afflicted, and I was around him, all intent on compassionating him, loving him, embracing him and consoling him with all the fullness of confidence. And my sweet Jesus told me, "My daughter, you are my contentment." I like it this way, that the soul forgets about herself, about her miseries, and occupies herself only with me, with my afflictions, with my bitternesses, and with my love. And she remains around me with all confidence. This confidence captures my heart and inundates me with so much joy that just as the soul forgets all of herself for me, I forget everything for her, and I make her one single thing for me. And I reach the point of not only giving her, but of letting her take everything she wants. On the other hand, to the soul who does not forget everything for me, even her miseries, and who, if she wants to be around me, does so with all respect, with fear, and without the confidence that captures my heart, as though wanting to be with me with fearful restraint and all circumspect. To this one I give nothing, and she can take nothing, because the key of confidence, of ease, of simplicity is missing. These are all necessary things in order for me to give, and for her to receive. And so she comes with miseries, and with miseries she remains. May 24th, 1911. What God is by nature, the soul is by grace. I was thinking of the incomprehensible greatness and wisdom of God, who in giving his goods to us does not decrease in anything. On the contrary, it seems that by giving, he acquires the glory that the creatures give him for having received the goods of the Lord. And blessed Jesus in coming told me, "My daughter, you too possess this quality, not in the body, but in the soul, that was communicated to you by my goodness. In fact, by trying to infuse good, virtue, love, patience, sweetness in souls, you lose nothing at all. On the contrary, by infusing them in others, if you see that they take advantage of them, you enjoy a greater satisfaction. So that which you are by grace in your soul, I am by nature, and not only for the goods of virtues, but for all possible goods, natural, spiritual, and of any kind. June 7th, 1911. Sorrow of Jesus because of the priests. Love that is hidden. Woe. Going through most bitter days of privation of my adorable Jesus, I was praying him to deign to come, and he came just like a flash and told me, "Love that is hidden. Woe." Then as I was praying him for the church and for pity on many souls who become lost because they want to wage war against the church and for his ministers, Jesus added, "My daughter, do not afflict yourself. It is necessary that the enemies purge my church, and after they have purged her, the patience, the virtues of the good, shall be light for the enemies, and both one and the other shall be saved." And I, "But at least do not permit that the faults of your ministers become known to the secular, otherwise they shall afflict the church even more." And Jesus, "My daughter, do not pray me, for I become indignant. I want this matter to come out. I can take no more. I can take no more. The sacrileges are enormous. By covering them, I would give them the field to commit greater evils. You shall have patience in bearing my absence. You shall do this as a heroine. I want to trust you, who are my daughter, while I occupy myself with preparing the scourges for the secular and for the priests. You have reached the end of the Book of Heaven, Volume 10, Part 3. Fiat.